Chapter 10 The White Hot Fire of Confederation for Canada. There are two different fires which are critical to the development of Canadian Confederation and Canadian democracy as a whole, which is what this chapter is named for. The first of these fires has to do with the London Conference just before Christmas 1866, when Sir John A. Macdonald, who woke up to find his hotel room on fire in London, England. Now, many people believe that Macdonald's account of what happened, as he wrote a letter to his new wife, Agnes Macdonald, whom he had married in 1867 while visiting his birthplace of Glasgow, Scotland. In his letter, Macdonald says he fell asleep, only to be woken up by intense heat. George Cartier organized the Eighth Fires of Confederation into a kind of bucket brigade of sorts. Together, they lugged bucket after bucket of water up many flights of stairs to where Macdonald's hotel room was, where they quickly extinguished the fire. This is a metaphor for how many different people can work together just privately to solve a problem. In this case, the Fires of Confederation were there to approve a plan for a new nation that ended up becoming a firefighting brigade in the process to put the fire out. In spite of Dr. Charles Tupper's insistence that John A. stay in bed, he was nonetheless presented to her Imperial Majesty Queen Victoria, and knighted by her in spite of having second and third degree burns all over his body. The question remains, did Macdonald pass out from drinking too much? Probably, although it was also pretty near the middle of the night, so he could have fallen asleep too. The only account we have is his letter to his new wife, and also to his sister written the day after the event. In his letter, Macdonald says that George Brown wrote a letter about the fire, but that didn't survive, so Brown might not have sent it in the first place. The second fire which impacted Canadian democracy as a whole took place on February the 3rd and 4th, 1916. This is when the centre block of the House of Commons was badly damaged by a fire on Parliament Hill. It started in a closet that was attached to the main meeting room in the centre block. Some members of Parliament attempted to put out the fire, but they could not do so. Amazingly, in spite of the loss of most of the inside of the centre block, the only man killed was a Nova Scotia member of Parliament named Bowman Brown Law, who was 60 years old at the time. Tragically, six other people also lost their lives later due to smoke inhalation. To this day, the special mace with the date of the fire inscribed on it is used in parliamentary sittings on February 3rd every year on the anniversary of the fire. The centre block had to be completely rebuilt. During this time, the famous Peace Tower, the building in memory of the soldiers who lost their lives during the First World War, some of whom were killed on that same day on the Western Front. There was a clock tower with bells inside of it, where the Peace Tower now stands, but it was so badly damaged in a fire that it actually made more sense to demolish the old stone tower and build a new one. Only the Library of Parliament was able to be saved when somebody shut the doors to that part of the building. All the work on the exterior of the building was completed in 1927, although some of the fuller decorations inside and carvings took place until 1947 to fully recomplete. Unfortunately, perhaps fortunately, depending on how you look at it, none of the Fathers of Confederation got to see the Great Fire of Parliament. The last one, Dr. Charles Tupper, died in London in 1915, aged 95, in the very same place where he had fought so hard to build the nation of Canada 49 years earlier. Now, what caused the parliamentary fire, which destroyed the centre block of the Houses of Parliament in 1916? Well, to this day, it remains a mystery. At first, the Canadian government suspected possible German sabotage, but this was more just due to wartime paranoia, as it was when the First World War was at its height in February 1916. The truth was that it was almost certainly an accident, but no one has ever been able to find out what or who caused the accident in the first place. So over 100 years later, it is still a mystery that will probably never be solved. By the way, Parliament had to meet in a hotel lobby until 1920, when it returned to Parliament Hill. The Senate met in one room of the hallway of the hotel, while the House of Commons met in another conference room at the other end of the hallway. It is noteworthy that all the rooms in the hotel that functioned as a sort of Parliament building were booked and requisitioned by the government for various politicians' offices. So there are two different fires that helped to build the Canadian democracy as a nation. It is also ironic that both of these fires have something to do with the hotel room, as they either started in or indeed ended in a hotel. The hotel which was temporarily set up, is now home to the Canadian Museum of Nature.